All right, so we are live. So welcome everybody. Welcome back. Hopefully everybody was safe during the storm. I know we had 2 storms in 1 semester, so craziness, but hey, I think after the pandemic, nothing surprises us anymore. So that's kind of the way it is. So for those of you that are here for the first time, welcome to MISA. Appreciate you coming. So as always, I kind of like to go over the format of how MISA is. So we have most of the time general meetings and then company information sessions. And so tonight we actually have a company information session because we had this scheduled for last week, and then because of the storm, we had to reschedule. So thankfully, the team here at NCCI was flexible enough to come back for this week, so that way we didn't miss out on the session. So tonight we were going to have a regular general meeting, and so we were able to move things around. So we appreciate everyone's flexibility. So this is actually tonight our last company information session for the semester. So sad to hear that we're coming to the end of the semester, but excited that we can have the amazing company here tonight to speak. So tonight we're going to have the company NCCI. So we actually haven't had NCCI come speak at MISA. It's been probably since 2018, so it's been a long time. So we're excited that the team was able to come. So tonight, the way the session will kind of work, you'll get to hear from the group here at NCCI and hopefully just learn a little bit more about what NCCI is about, what jobs they have available, and then obviously what each of the team members here do, and kind of get a glimpse into their department and their day-to-day. So without further ado, I'd like to kick it off to the team at NCCI. So can we give a nice warm virtual and online round of applause?
Hi, everybody. All right. So I'm a fellow student here at FAU, but I have actually been an employee at NCCI for about 14 years. So I'm going to go over a little bit of history about NCCI, what it is that we actually do. And I have some experts who know a lot more than I do and to give you what you guys really want to know is about like the IT portions and the cool stuff. So. All right, so NCCI, we're actually approaching our 100-year anniversary. We've been around since 1923. We started up in New York City. And our mission is to actually foster a healthy workers' compensation system. So what we do is we gather data, we analyze that data, we analyze industry trends, we provide objective resources and insurance rate, loss costs, recommendations, and so forth. And we help the insurance commissioners within each state. We have a lot of different hats that we wear, so I'm going to keep it very generic because we can definitely go down the rabbit hole, as my colleagues will tell you. But the thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we are the source you trust when it comes to workers' compensation. Again, some of our mission and vision and our objectives is what I explained already. We do have a very large data division. We have a large actuarial division, and we have a brand new data science division, a department within the actuarial division. So we're growing. I mean, 100-year-old company, not only are we withstanding throughout the time, but we're actually innovating and becoming better and staying relevant. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure we're adding value to our stakeholders. And these are our stakeholders. At the middle of it, we have our employers and our employees. And outside, we have our carriers, the regulators, the policymakers, residual market providers, which are the market of last resort when it comes to workers' compensation. Let's say like you're a brand new business and you don't have a lot of experience, just like with car insurance, there's always a market of last resort. Like usually if you're a first time driver, you'll be in the residual market when it comes to car insurance. And then over here, I want to show you, this is pretty cool. We have a lot of data that we collect and we analyze. Like I mentioned before, we have financial call data, indemnity call data, medical call data, residual market financial information. We get detailed claim information when it comes to those policies. Now, I do want to explain that NCCI is not an actual insurance company. We collect the data that the insurance companies use the policies, and they issue the policies and they service the policies. And we just collect that data and we basically tell them what the data is telling us. Okay. And with all that data, you would think that like we're cold-hearted people, right? That's not true. NCCI is like one of the best companies I've ever worked for. They have a really amazing and engaging culture here at NCCI. We have an organization, a committee, which is called the NCCI Cares. And these are our guidelines when it comes to working within the community. One thing that we do is we have set organizations that we support year round. We are getting ready for our Day of Giving and the Share the Spirit. We just wrapped up our United Way campaign in early October. And we also just wrapped up our Kids Chance, which was last week. So Kids Chance is an organization that's specific to workers' compensation, is to provide scholarships for those children who's lost a parent during an on-the-job catastrophe. Right? We also have employee-driven organizations. What this means is that NCCI says, hey, is there an organization you're interested in NCCI sponsoring or supporting? And then every end of the year, which we just submitted, is we fill out a questionnaire and we say, hey, I'm interested in this organization. It's a 501c3. And we submit it. It goes through the entire company to where we can vote on it. And then those actually are supported in the following year in 2023. So some that we used this year were the Alzheimer's Education, the Lung Cancer Institute, Peggy Adams Animal Rescue League, which is where I got my dog from in 2015, and then SOS Children's Villages. And we still have a lot of community programs that we do. NCCI actually is at FAU a lot. So we may not have been at NISA since 2018, but FAU does come to FAU. NCCI does come to FAU pretty often. Another thing that helps our culture is that we have volunteer time off. So not only are they telling you, hey, you can go ahead and submit an organization you like, but they're going to pay you to actually go out there and make a difference in your community. We have 40 hours set aside that we can go ahead and support an organization throughout the entire year. And then we have one day that's set apart for the entire company to do an actual company-wide volunteer event. We've done, before the pandemic, it was Habitat for Humanity. So we would actually go on roofs and actually like help build the roofs as an entire company. Our CEO was up there too. It's pretty cool. And then let's say you don't have enough time to do something, you can always volunteer or match your dollars or support financial, and then they'll go ahead and match the financial contributions up to $1,000. When it comes to inclusion and diversity, we just started an employee resource group here at NCCI. It's been in the works for about a year and a half, but we want to make sure we roll it out successfully and strategically. So we rolled it out within about a past month or so. We named it Together as One. That was a suggestion from the employees. Before that, we were also going out to the community and tutoring those in the elementary and middle school. So we have a math motivator organization within NCCI that goes out. It's mainly our actuaries, definitely not my forte. And then we have a women's in STEM that go to the Milagro Center that helps tutor and encourage young girls to pursue a career in STEM. All right, now the fun part, right? What kind of jobs do we have? We have 8 different divisions within the organization. Like I mentioned before, we have actuarial. We have customer operations, which is where I initially started 14 years ago. I was in, okay. And then data resources, which again is our large data division. We have our finance, which also houses our strategic division. So we have a really huge strategic initiative to be more innovative. Of course, we have human resources and legal. And then information technology, which we have our experts here to talk more about. And then regulatory is the division that I'm currently in now. So let's go ahead. If you go to jobs.ncci.com, you'll be able to see a bunch of cool things. We're always showing that we care about our community, so we'll have that there. We have the different career paths you can work on. When it comes to benefits, like why do you—
Hey, Pam, I don't know if you're meaning to share the website, but right now we can only see the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay, let's try this. Let me share my screen. Thank you, Adriana. Doesn't give me the option to share my screen. Only individual apps. Okay. This is Zoom, not WebEx. That better? Okay, awesome. Thank you. So again, we're displaying our NCCI cares. And then down here, we have more information when it comes to the benefits of what it means to work at NCCI. We have very competitive pay and performance. Your performance reviews at the end of the year are directly correlated to the pay. Like if you do really well, you're going to get paid very well. Okay. There's still scales when it comes to different positions, but it is very easy to exceed expectations on your performance review. So I always say, go for it. We have a competitive 401k savings plan, which starts day one. We have amazing benefits, medical, dental, vision, HSA, and so forth. Our campus is pretty cool. It's right down the street. I don't know if you guys know, but it's right off of the Congress exit. And it's right behind that brand new ice skating rink. So we were there before. And now we have that new ice skating rink. So in case you need to, you can work out at the ice skating rink and then go over and work at work. Yes. Changes all the time. Another thing that we have is, while I bring up the opening jobs, is that we have an actual gym on campus. We have a huge Connections Cafe, which is a cafeteria. They have amazing staff. Sodexo works with us. And we have our meeting grounds, which is our like Starbucks area. We actually use Starbucks products. And something else I just opened up this year is our brand new game room. So it's pretty cool. I actually just celebrated a project being completed just the other day. And it was really cool to, have fun with our colleagues and play some video games and pool and air hockey and things of that nature. But going back to the job availability. Now, a site nurse analyst, that's the customer operations, that's like an entry level database administrators. That it does definitely require some experience. And then of course we have economists, senior developers and whatnot, insurance inspectors that actually go out and inspect the businesses to make sure that their classification codes are classed correctly, their experience rating and things of that nature. But when it comes to internships, they're not posted yet. There will be in the end of January, early February, we will have some IT internships that are going to be posted. And then, of course, we always have actuarial internships for the summer as well. Those are already full, but they're getting ready to look at actuarial internships for the following year. And then we're also working with other areas within our IT division to see what else we can bring over. Because our internship program was initially very small, but now because NCCI is expanding, we're like, hey, let's open it up to customer operations. We had 2 people who did internships from a college and university down in Miami that came up, and it was great. I mean, they were in customer operations, they learned how to run the call center and whatnot. So it was really cool. All right, let's see. What else we have? Let me make sure. All right. So that is the intro part of NCCI. I want to go ahead and give our guests enough time to speak. So let me go ahead and share the screen. And William Davis, who is our senior project manager, he is going to go ahead and share his information with NCCI.
All right, thank you. And good evening, all my fellow FAU owls, because I am a graduate of FAU. I graduated about 20 some years ago. And my story begins with the MIS degree. I think I was among the very first students to get an MIS degree from FAU. It was called the CIS, Computer Information Systems, when I began the program, and it was my senior year that they said, actually, we're going to change it, and it became an MIS degree. And I want to let you know that that has turned out very well for me. I've had a great career at NCCI. In fact, you could say that my entire working career has been with NCCI, and you would not be wrong. I've spent 37 years at NCCI. So I'm one of the oldest employees. I like to say more senior employees. And it's gone real well for me. They do have a good pay package, a good benefits package, good workplace culture, good location. And now with the pandemic, we actually have a nice hybrid working environment. So I pretty much work from home. I have the option to go in. It's been a very adaptive work environment. So you have made a good choice by going to FAU, and you've made an excellent choice by avoiding all of the calculus that you would have had to take if you had gone to the College of Engineering. Instead, you only had to do one semester of calculus, and you're going to come away with a degree that will let you enter into the IT industry. So I graduated in 2001 with a BS. I went on and got a couple of other graduate degrees. And I think that's my point to you, is that you're going to finish your degree and you're going to feel wonderful, and you'll probably not want to go back to school for a while. But if you go into IT, you are committing to be a lifetime learner. Now, that doesn't mean that you are going to pursue graduate degrees. That might be right for some of you. But in IT, because of its ever-changing pace, you are committed to be a lifetime learner. And that could mean different things. It could mean watching a lot of YouTube videos, going to conferences. It could mean watching LinkedIn learning videos. It could mean getting mentors, a part of your life. There are many avenues to learning, and it won't stop once you walk across the stage and collect your degree when you finish your 4-year program. I have 2 sons who are FAU Owls as well. One is currently I think he's a junior or sophomore. I'm not sure where his credits are, but he's an undergraduate degree at the, I think he's got a College of Science, but he's also got a minor in the business. But I have an older son who graduated with an MIS degree just a few years ago, about 5 years ago. And that was a wonderful launching springboard into his IT career. He spent the last 5 years working for Office Depot corporate, and then just recently switched over to work as a software engineer at Chewy. Chewy has 3 headquarters. One of them is in Plantation. So my eldest son has got a great IT career, thanks in part to his 4 years of study at FAU. He actually did the 5th year, by the way, and got an MSITM, I think it is, Master of Science in Information Technology Management. So if you haven't thought about a 5-year program, please do so. I began my journey with NCCI in 1985. I was a computer operator. And then I did software development for half my journey with NCCI. And then as I got in my 40s, I was like, the pace of change is a little too much for me. I'm married, I have 4 children, and I needed an easier to manage work-life balance. And because I was pretty good with project management, I took the second half of my career and I'm an IT project manager. That's been a great career move for me. One of the things I like about it is I'm still involved with technology professionals, but I don't have to keep up with the latest technology solutions like my software development engineers do. So I get all the fun of being part of IT, but I just work with IT software development teams. So my top tip is to be a lifetime learner. So as you come through your 4 years at FAU, or however many years it took you to get your degree, it took me about 8 to get my 4-year degree. Consider, what do I want to do next? What do I want to learn next? What am I interested in? Am I interested in networking? Am I interested in software development? Am I interested in database? Am I interested in managing those technology teams? Where am I interested in? And then figure out, well, what do I need to do next? Along with my lifetime learner tip is do a great job at being a networker. If you aren't a good networker, learn to become a good networker, because you may very well find that your next job comes not on the strength of your resume or the fact that you got a 4.0 GPA when you graduated FAU. It may come, your next opportunity may come because of somebody that knows you, and they know of a job opportunity, and they connect you to the job opportunity. That worked in my elder son's case twice now. He got his foot into Office Depot because he knew somebody. And similarly, he knew somebody at Chewy. So it's part of what you know, and it's also who you know. So work on both your after graduate studies, what are you going to learn, and also work on your networking. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, next up we have Adriana.
Hi there. Well, you're going to hear a lot of similar things that William shared because it's all true. Now I am going to make a confession. We both went to school at FAU and I saw that he had an MIS, so I put MIS, but I haven't seen my diploma in about 3 years because it's at my desk and I'm working from home. So mine very well may say computer information systems. I did graduate from FAU in 1995. I actually did my associates in Gainesville at Santa Fe Community College. That's where I grew up. I did a lot of my partying there. So a lot of people ask me, why didn't you go to University of Florida? And I said, I did my frat row long time ago. So it was time to grow up and really start thinking about my future. So one of the main reasons that drew me down to Boca Raton was at the time IBM was here. And so, of course, that was a big draw. And then also Phi Theta Kappa as a member, I got a full ride to FAU. So, of course, that helped. And when I did my college tour, I saw the palm trees and I saw the proximity to the ocean. And there was also a Sanson Science Building, which happened to be my maiden name. So I knew that I was going to be an owl and go there. So that's how my career there started. As far as so while I was a student at FAU, the summer before I graduated in December. So that summer, I actually worked with FAU to do an internship program at Alamo down in Fort Lauderdale. And that internship was actually part of the marketing department. So but I ended up being the Excel expert on the floor. So I did my tech support for everybody while I was there. And while I was doing that internship, I got to experience a corporate layoff. So all employees, a bunch of employees, including many of my bosses that I was reporting to, were laid off. And at that time, they immediately terminated all internships, which kind of left me with a lot of time. So at that point, tapped into one of the things that William talked about, and it's the connections that you make along the way. So I had a buddy in my COBOL class at FAU who was already working at NCCI, and he got me an interview. And I started at NCCI as with an internship there as well to kind of feel it all out. And I helped out to document our billing service, which at the time was fee for service. And we were bringing in Oracle Financials in-house, which is a third party. So nobody wanted to do that work. So they gave it to somebody just coming in. I was like, what does the system do? And then within a few months, I had a full-time job. I actually was employed full-time before I even graduated in December. So that was a very cool feeling to not even have to put resumes out there as my peers were. IT is way more than coding. So I think we've kind of talked about it a little bit, but there's obviously the PMO department, project management office, quality assurance, asset management, help desk, configuration of PCs. There's also server management, there's security, cyber security, so many different areas. I think it's really good to explore. And if you guys ever have an opportunity to shadow someone who does something that you think you may want to pursue, I say do it. Spend a day with them. I did that when I was in high school with a programmer. And I don't remember how great it was, but obviously I got into the field. So something was good about it. When I first started, I used a lot of DOS programs. And now we're looking at, clouds. So that's, it's all evolved. And change is going to be inevitable. So yes, you're going to graduate and you're going to get a degree, but you are going to keep learning, because if you don't, you're not going to keep working, not in this field. You've got to keep evolving as things go. We've got a lot of developers who started out, mainframe way back in the day, and now they're doing lots of front end development and web services and just different experiences altogether. So definitely changing. As far as NCCI, it's a fabulous company. I have actually been there 27 years this summer. Just yesterday, we did our quarter century induction. For the last 3 years since COVID, we didn't have an in-person event. So that was a great gathering yesterday. The company, as you know, William is, and Pamelina has mentioned, you know, we have an on-site daycare. I have 2 kids. They both went through it from 3 months all the way to VPK. There's a Starbucks. You know, all the college tours, they put a Starbucks in there so their kids go to college there. There's a Starbucks at NCCI. There's also a YMCA daycare as well, the daycare and the gym. So awesome time. So congratulations on, you know, getting into this field, and yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Grandma. All right, and next I'm going to stop sharing because Sarisha would like to take control. So, Sarisha, can you share? Are you muted?
You can hear me?
Now we can. Thank you.
Okay.
Are you able to share?
Yeah. So let me know if I'm going to start my can see that, right? You can see the presentation, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean to say, I'm running the show. You can see that, right?
Yes.
All right. So good evening, everybody. I'm Sirisha Modukorakela. My background is a little bit different than William or Adriana here. So now who am I? You already heard my name. And well, I call myself a philomath. That means someone who loves to learn and wants to keep learning. And right now, and I want to be better at all of these, but right now I'm concentrating on being a better presenter because I got a chance to do that. And more, because what's the point of living without learning, right? That's the very essential of a software engineer. And professionally speaking, I have done several certifications, mainly in, mostly in concepts, not in technologies, because technologies keep evolving. And I don't really want to do much in technologies because they get, in every 6 months, they have a new version coming out, and it really doesn't, how shall I say, not all that beneficial. And feel free to talk to me. I love sharing information. Next, how did it all begin? Actually, I wasn't planning on becoming a software engineer at all. The way this goes. Okay, I was actually planning to graduate in botany, but then this is what happened. I wanted to be a geneticist, but it takes time to get into that university. So then my dad said, why not do computers till then? And when I joined computers, I was enjoying it so much. Every single semester, I was getting academic awards every single semester. And I thought, you know, why should I choose something else? So this is how I thought, okay, this is it. I have to be a software engineer. And then how did I come to USA? Because till now, everything is in India, right? So in India, I was this fun and free girl. Then I got engaged. Then I got married. And then I flew to USA. And I'm still fun and free, but now in USA. So now, this is some kind of a overall timeline. I came to USA in 2000. I joined NCCI in 2003. I became a mom in 2009. I became a citizen in 2013. I still work at NCCI, and yes, I'm still married. And so let me tell you about my digital journey, because this is my career roadmap. So 1995, I changed over to computers. I learned all the basics. Then 1996, I learned advanced concepts. 1997, I started my internship as a teacher assistant. 98, first job as developer back in India. Besides that, I also began to teach computer science students in object-oriented and RDBMS concepts. And then in 2000, I came to USA. 2001, actually, I joined FAU. I learned systems programming, .NET programming here. And in 2002, I got my green card. So in 2003, I landed my job at NCCI. And like William said, yep, I knew somebody from NCCI. And 2005, I continued. 2019 was a very eventful year for me. We had a lot of activities going on. Who knew, right? On 2020, we are all back at home, right? So that was like a milestone for me. We did a lot in 2019. Now that's my career roadmap. Now let me tell you about the impact and takeaways and how did software engineering impact my life. First, it taught me how to deal with totally dumb entities like machines or, but I'm just kidding. Actually, this is how it helped me. Pseudocode. It helped me how to give clear instructions for effective communication, teach others at their level, effective documentation. In fact, I used to teach children on the weekends in language. So it takes a separate way of teaching them, but pseudocode helped me how to actually go to their level and teach them. Algorithms think logically, not just in computer programming, but even otherwise. And requirements analysis, ubiquitous language. Do you know what that is? If not, Q&A section, don't forget to ask me. And then object-oriented analysis. This particular analysis and design, you can actually implement this not just in computer science, but anywhere else. And DevOps. These concepts can be applied in any other career or field. And have you heard of home ops? If not, Q&A. And software engineering. Like people said before me, it's up to you how good you want to be in software engineering. If you really want to be good at it, you can never stop learning. And I want to bring this up because women empowerment, though effort, misogyny still lurks because very subtly, there are several forms of discrimination. Misogyny is one of them. So I encourage you people to work against this because this is there in every way, I'm not just talking here. I have been a part of voluntary organization. Trust me, it exists on every level. And one of the reasons why I push myself is to overcome any kind of discrimination. And I tell all my students the same thing. Do not just do a job just for yourself. You have to do it for others. At least, if no one else, I would love to at least inspire my daughter to be a better person, better professional than she thinks she can be. I want her to look at me and say, if my mom can do it, so can I. This is how software engineering impacts me in my daily life. And trust me, I can take concepts from my life to software engineering and concepts from software engineering back to my life. It really helps. So back to you, Pam.
Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Let's see. Let's go ahead and share. Oh, can you stop sharing, Surisha, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. That's fine.
Comments.
Here you go.
Thanks again, everyone. I'm just going to go ahead and stop the recording.
Thank you.